Hi guys, this is Susan. I'm going to try and do this tutorial as quickly as I can. It's basically to help people that live in Florida in the Broward County area in order for them to be able to get vouchers for low or free spay and neuter programs. There's two of them right now. There's one called SNIP, that's SNIP, and the other one is a regular TNR, which stands for Trap, Neuter, Release Program for the feral outdoor cats. Okay, so what we're going to do is you're going to go to Google and you're going to hit SNIP Broward. Um, let's just go with the first one. Okay, welcome to SNIP. Okay, here's some information that's pretty useful. Basically, depending on your income, it's going to be either free or low cost for owned cats and dogs. The voucher has to be used within 60 days, and I will explain to you in a little bit why this is important. Um, let's see what else. The number of free, reduced cost. Okay, let's see. All right. So that talks about the program. Actually, this one is basically what talks about the two programs, the SNP, and then there's a TNR program. All right, in order to get to the part where you create a user ID and password is you are going to go here into the SNP program and you're going to scroll all the way down to this orange button and you're going to click here. If you already have a user ID and password, obviously you're going to log in. If not, you're going to register. You're going to plug in all this information, okay? And then you're going to register. And I am going to go back and I'm going to log in with some, this is an email address that I don't use. I use it for spam, but I did it for this purpose. Okay, I'm going to log in. Let's see, what was it? We're going to log in. Crap. Did I do this right? gmail.com. Password is off. Okay, so try that again. There we go. Okay, so this is a fake address that I put, but this is what your page is going to look like once you log in. Okay, so the orange button is for SNP and the blue one is for the TNR. Now, I did a video before creating this whole thing, but it didn't work out. I forgot to save it. So I am going to here, I added a pet called Fluffy and you see not available. And then I also, let's see, edit pet. Okay, and then I also added a few community cats to it and nothing happened. It said not available. So I'm going to explain to you what just happened because this video is being done on August 13, 2018. And I called to find out if there was an issue with the program or what's going on because I'm not able to print out the vouchers for either the SNP or the TNR. And I was just told by one of the people that coordinates this program that as of July 26, 2018, something has changed. And now they're only allowing 25 SNP vouchers per day for the whole Broward Community County and 15 TNR TNR vouchers per day for all of Broward. They're doing this because they're ending their fiscal year, which ends the end of this September coming up, so we're a little over a month away. And they were having some major issues because the amount of printed vouchers and the amount of vouchers used were different. So they needed to reduce the amount of vouchers to ensure they have enough funds for the program before the fiscal end of the year is finalized. Okay, so this is the trick. The trick is she told me everything resets at midnight. So you guys have to be ready at 12:01 a.m. and basically start doing your SNP and voucher for all the trappers out there. Please, just be conscientious. Only print what you need because in the past, I think I'm guilty of it. I would print out a bunch of them and leave them in my glove box and basically have them ready when I'd go trapping. so I wouldn't have to constantly go in and print. But you know, it's really important that now, since those slots are limited, that you basically just do what you need. So for anybody that has their regular pets that you want to do the SNP, just get online at midnight and just trying to get your 15-day, your one of the 25 slots. Okay, so once you get your slot, you're going to be able to go here, and normally you would be able to view and print and save as a PDF your voucher, which you would have to print and take with you. Now, I do want to go over a few things because this is important as part of the SNP program only. I'm talking about SNP only. This is for owned pets. Before I forget, in one of the sections when you were filling out your home address and information, they asked you for income. If you're on the lower bracket of the income, I think it was from $0 to $30,000, chances are you're not going to pay anything. If you are higher, you might have to pay a copay. So just, you know, be mindful of whatever you put on there is going to be how they determine whether or not you're going to pay for the spay, neutering, and the rabies vaccination. Okay, so a couple things you want to know through the SNP program. These are the SNP providers. Let's get on this page. Hold on. These are the SNP providers in Broward County. Okay, so each voucher expires after 60 days, no exceptions. The reason why this is important to know is that many of these people, companies, veterinarian hospitals that are listed, it's going to take you about 2 to 3 weeks to get an appointment. So I would probably make the appointment and then maybe a week after start trying to work on getting the voucher. Now, I called one of these today just to kind of get an idea of what their turnaround times were. Who did I call? I think it was Pet Doctor of Davie. And they actually have a requirement. And their requirement is that all the cats need to have their FERCP vaccine shot. And for dogs, you have to have the 3 vaccines, and I will tell you what they are. What are the vaccines for the doggies? Right here. Hold on. Vaccines. Crap. This website, just so you guys know, is for the Humane Society of Broward County. That is off of Griffin and 95. It's a great place to go. They have a walk-in vaccination clinic. Walk-in means no appointments. They're open through Monday through Friday from 9 to 4:30 p.m. However, they are closed from 11:30 to 1 p.m. That means if you want to get your animal, cat or dog, microchipped or vaccines, you don't need an appointment. You just walk in and get the service done. They have these, just see this flu shot available. I would definitely not do this. Here are some of the packages. So as I was saying, that one veterinarian hospital that I called required your dog to have 3 things 72 hours before the date of operation. That was the Bordetella, and the other was what was it? It was Bordetella, it was Parvo, and the 4-in-1 booster would probably work. Wait, let me look at my notes. It was distemper, Parvo, and Bordetella. Those are the 3 things that they require the dog to have 72 hours before operation. And for cats, the FERCP was required as well, 72 hours. So it's important to get these things structured and organized. Call the place you're thinking of taking them to get operated and ask all these questions, because not all places require it. I would probably highly recommend that you get your cat or dog these vaccines prior to going into an environment where they're going to be exposed to a lot of other cats and dogs, and who knows if they have some sort of disease and it's airborne, and then you know it, before you know it, you're spending hundreds of dollars in vet bills. So as you can see, these prices are not really that costly, considering you're not going to be paying for the operation and the rabies. So definitely worth doing. Okay, what else did I want to talk about? Oh yeah, I wanted to talk about the vaccines for the cats. So basically, um, do cats need an FERCP vaccination? In my opinion, yes. These are the three things that protects them from it. So I personally think all cats, whether they are your pet or they're a feral cat or an outdoor cat, I personally think they definitely need this because it's a layered of protection. If they are around another cat that has this and they catch it, it could lead to death. Panleuk is very serious, and most of the cats don't make it if they get exposed to it and do not have a vaccine to protect them. There are two types of vaccines. There is one that has the kill virus and one that has the modified live virus. Here you can read this information. Up here you have all the information to access this. But basically what they're saying in a nutshell is most of the time vets will tell you that with these FERCPs you should give them, on kittens starting probably 6 to 8 weeks, and then you give them their second shot, 3 to 4 weeks later. On ferals, obviously, it's a one-shot type of deal. So that's something just to throw out there for you guys to know. Let me see what else. I'm trying to really give you as much information as possible. So for the SNIP program, you guys now know that you just go into the program, which is right here, Broward.org. You scroll down, you apply here, and once you're here, you have two tabs here, the own pets and the TNR. These are for the own pets. You add in the orange tab, and for the TNR, you would add here. Normally, you would see the voucher here, and you'd be able to print it. And for own pets, you would see it here. Unfortunately, as I mentioned, they're going through the end of the fiscal year, and at this point, you just have to try to get it. Be vigilant about getting it because it's a great program. All right, I don't want to go into too much time on this, so that's for the SNP program. For the Broward, you usually have to make appointments with some places to take the community cats, but I think I'm going to do a whole nother video on that because this really wanted to go over the SNP program for people that want to get their personal cat or dog in Broward, get them operated at a low cost or no cost, but they will have to pay a little bit of money for the vaccines that are needed, and it should be done prior to surgery, at least 3 days prior. The longer the better, because it's just more protection for your animal. Vaccines tend to lower the immune system of an animal once given. Some of the animals might actually get a little sick, and you never want to operate an animal once they're sick, so I would probably recommend to get the vaccines about 1 to 2 weeks before the operation. That's just me personally. If you guys have any questions, Google is your friend. There's tons of information out here, but I really wanted to just get this out there. All right, I hope you can find some useful information from here. And people, please remember, spay and neuter your animals. Even if they're not yours, spay and neuter them because the overpopulation problem we have here in South Florida is insane. Thanks a lot for listening.